We ain't late, DM. What's poppin'? We was in here the whole time listening, looking at your comment. What's going on? Hey, Gershon, say something. There we go. What's going on, everybody? Uh-oh. Oh shit, you had it. Purple 101, what's good with
Yo,
you, DM?
DM,
What's
what's
good
good?
with you?
Proper 101, what's good? Guns and barbecue, what up, man?
Guns and
AK
barbecue, AK
Lover,
Lover,
what's
what's
up,
good?
man? Armel, what's up,
Hey,
man?
Armel, what's up, Armel? What's up with it, everybody, man? Welcome to Wild Wild Wednesday, man. She said, what's going on?
Hey, everybody that's
All
coming to
right,
the
coming
chat,
back.
what's good with y'all?
Yeah. We'll give it a couple of minutes and we gonna get this show on the road, man. How everybody doing? How was your holiday? How was everybody holiday, man? I hope y'all got everything y'all wanted. Hey, yeah.
Mill Spec, what up, man?
Bill Spec, what's good? Calvin Carbine. That's a trill
CC,
ass
what up,
name,
man?
bro. Calvin Carbine. That's a trill ass name. I ain't even know who. Calvin Carbine. Oh yeah, you already know Mill Spec. You already know, big dog. What's going on, everybody, man? We try to get this out, man. Look, man, if y'all ain't hit that like button already, man, hit that button for us. And man, share it, man, if y'all don't mind, man. We surely appreciate it.
Tech Money, what's up, bro?
Motherfucker. What's
Man,
up,
how
Tech?
y'all doing tonight, man? Y'all got y'all libations? Did I say that right? Libation?
Would you call would you call them libations?
Libations. Libations make you feel liberated. Man, what's good with
Hey,
y'all? Hey, welcome to the show, everybody that's coming into the chat, man. We're gonna get started in just a minute, man.
so trying to see how everybody was doing, man. How y'all last week was, man, spending all y'all goddamn money. I
Hey,
noticed a
why
lot of
y'all get
Facebook people.
settled and come on in, man. I got a throwback message for y'all.
You know how the fuck I'm
Gershon.
rocking, nigga. When you got your chain snatched in DC, who the fuck's one you call, nigga? You call Big Soldier, nigga. I got my chain snatched, bro. Don't be mad at me, bro. I ain't mad at you. I'm just gonna help you get your shit back. You got my address, nigga. Pull up, fuck, nigga.
Yeah, and those are words from
Yeah,
Soldier Boy. Yes, sir.
big soldier.
I ain't mad at you. I'm
So
just trying to help you get your stuff back.
hey, Miss Man, he said he trying to get his paper back, man. All that money they spent on light skinned Jesus' birthday. I don't know who
I'm just trying to help y'all get all y'all Christmas money back y'all spent. Kingdom Defense, what's good?
Kingdom, what's good with
She said she drinking that water today. You know what? I need to drink more water. Maybe I can get my
man, I've been
damn
drinking
stomach
coffee.
down.
Yeah.
Nah, I
Bro, I've been
mean,
drinking coffee all day, man. I don't even think I
man, I
drunk
be
a
up on
cup
that
of water.
coffee too. I can't decide do I want coffee or energy drinks. I be so damn flip flop.
Man,
One day I'm drinking coffee, one day I'm on energy drinks.
man, I don't even mess
Trick.
with them energy drinks, bro.
Ah, Ward Atkins, what's up? He
What
said,
that?
man, I ain't seen you in a month or something. Shit, me
Man.
neither. I ain't seen myself, man. What's good? Hey, so while y'all coming in, man, we gonna go and get straight into it, man. So look, we gonna, everybody will catch them up when they get in, man. But tonight we're gonna be talking about self-incrimination. You know what I'm saying, and how much snitching is too much snitching, or how much talking is too much talking when you're being confronted by law enforcement. I don't know, everybody age gap or generation, but I was sitting back watching the Young Thug situation, and a lot of people in their little criminal cases folding like a motherfucker, and shit, they tell it. Shit, bottom line, they tell it. So that even relate to us in the 2A community. You know what I mean? Because in a self-defense situation or just any situation involving with the police, like shit, even as a law-abiding citizen, how much talking is too much talking? Because last week we were talking about holding court in the street, and really, truthfully be told, shit, we ain't supposed to be holding no court in the street. Gotta let the police do what they do, and you do what you do, and shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of us can't do that. You know what I'm saying? So, how many of y'all in the chat ever been confronted by the police and didn't know when to shut the hell up, or just told on yourself? Or how many of y'all just got a habit of just telling shit, period, anyway? Things that don't need to be told. Y'all know who y'all are. I don't know who you are. You know what I'm saying?
Calling it.
Because I don't get a chance to interact with all y'all on a day-to-day basis. But how many of y'all be telling around this motherfucker? Are y'all the people that y'all homeboys and homegirls and family members can't stand to see coming around because y'all gonna tell some shit? I ain't lying.
Everybody who wasn't there.
Joseph Harris, what
Everybody
good?
and calling everybody who wasn't even there.
Meal Spec said, I ain't no rat.
Bro.
I know a lot of people be telling and shit. I got a dude I work with, he'll tell on his soul, boy. Shit. That boy gonna tell it, tell everything. Man, that boy tell on Jesus, man. For real. That boy tell on God, man.
Man, bro. Looking at that young Thug situation, man, seeing that man off in court, man. He looking like, I can't believe it, bro. But it should be part of the game. You should believe it. You should believe it. Man, anybody more than 5 people on that indictment, man.
Hey, and you know what's crazy about that though, folks? Like, all these rappers and shit, they be talking about they ain't gonna tell. They got the solidest crew, and then as soon as they get flipped, everybody telling, everybody talking. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing. We go in together, we come out together.
Your boy Young Thug, he was up in court. I knew it was over as soon as I seen the glasses on his face. I'm like, what he got on them glasses for? How come, man, when y'all go to court, man, y'all be putting on them goddamn glasses, man, the ones with the glass. They ain't even prescriptions. As soon as I see the glasses, I knew it was over with, man.
Because the eyes is the window to the soul, goddamn it. Everybody don't want you to look into their eyes. You know what I'm saying? Let me take my shades off, because that was going to be an oxymoron. I'm sitting up here talking about a motherfucker don't want you to look into their eyes, and I'm sitting up here with shades on in the dark. Let me let y'all look into my eyes a little bit and see what y'all see. Let me keep them off. I know they red as a motherfucker. I know y'all see I'm tired, but I do this for y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, as soon as I seen, man, that boy sitting up there with them glasses on, I'm like,
so I got a quick question, man. Any of y'all ever had the self-defense situation and told on y'all self? That's the question of the day. Me expect say I'm trying to look sophisticated.
As soon as the police ride up, you like, he said he was not you. I think he's talking about Young Thug. Hey, Millspec, you talk about Young Doug. He's up there trying to
Shit.
look
Yeah, his
sophisticated
ass
for
gonna be
y'all.
looking. His ass gonna be looking sophisticated on 23-1. When he's sitting up in the cell reading them books, trying to goddamn it act like he's smart and shit. He gonna know a whole bunch of words when he get up out that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? He gonna be like T.I.
I
using
think
all
they
them
about to
big
give
ass
him a
words.
gang of years. I think they're about to give him a gang of years, man, and get a boy. What's that boy name? Tory Lanez. I think they gonna get that man a gang of years too, man.
Oh, they
He's
telling in that
always been one.
situation too, but hell, I don't know because somebody just said it was a female shooting and not him. I think.
Yeah, well, they said it in court, man. I think he on the pill, bro, but they want to break him, bro. They want to break him. They
Yeah,
want
they
to
trying
break
to
him
break that boy down.
because they trying to hit his pockets, man.
Yeah,
They
that's what I'm
let him
talking about.
appeal,
When you
man. They
playing with
had
the police shit, you know how they do. They gon' when you playing with them laws, they gonna make sure you run out of money. When you run out of money, they got you.
yeah,
They got you.
man.
If I know I'm dead to the wrong shit, you can just put that on my commissary. RGG, what's good? I ain't finna.
I love
Hey, I ain't finna sit up there and
it.
I ain't finna sit up there and play with them folks like that.
Nah, man, you
Man, but
gotta
look,
stay on the course.
I got a special guest I'm gonna bring. Y'all met him last week, but I'm gonna bring him back because he got something to say on this subject matter. You know what I'm saying? He got it's so we gonna call this segment story time with Willie Biggs. We gonna let him come on
Willie Big, Willie
and
Big.
yes sir, they
They
call
call
him
him
Willie
Willie Big,
Biggs.
Willie Big, Willie Big. Yeah,
What's
that's my
good?
joy,
What's
Willie
good?
Big.
Lou, what's good,
Taxes,
What's
man?
up,
what's up,
man?
man? What's up, Jules?
What's
How
up
y'all
with it?
doing
What's up
out
with it,
there?
bro?
Man, slow
Man,
boogie, what's going down? What's going down, man?
Man, we good, bro. How you feeling tonight?
Oh man, tired, man, but you know how it goes. Show must
Shit.
go on, man.
I know. Shit,
what's
I
up?
was right there with you doing the same thing today. Hell, I know you're tired. 'Cause I'm tired. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But you know, we keeping it going. We grind. So Lou, we gonna go and jump into it, man. We 12 minutes in, man. The show got to roll. You know what I'm saying? So you know the topic. We talking about how much snitching is too much snitching. Now, last week we introduced you to the people for the first time, talking about you want to get your gun rights back and different stuff
For sure.
like that. And you did some time, so you've been around a lot of goddamn people in the joint. That you know what I'm saying. So you familiar with a lot of different characters. And in addition to that, you know what I'm saying, going to prison, you also had a little situation that I know about, but you may want to share with the people if you're comfortable talking about that, about being in a situation, having to use a firearm and being questioned by the police. How did you? Because I mean, it's one thing to talk about that shit and say, yeah, I'll be quiet, I'll do this, but until you in that situation, you really don't know what you're gonna do. So if you comfortable talking about that situation, which I think you are, bro, give us a rundown on your situation and how you chose to go about handling
Okay, first of all, I'ma say
it.
any snitching is too much snitching. Shut your mouth. Especially if they got your ass, shut your motherfucking mouth, man. Don't say nothing.
You
You know,
can't tell a little. You can't
use
tell
your
a little
First
something.
Amendment, the right to remain silent. Use that. You know.
That's
But
number five. That's number five.
getting into the situation,
That's
man,
number five.
I tell you like this. And my situation was kind of a forced hand situation. Uh, Back in '05, I had a little situation where I was just getting out of prison for the first time, had been home a couple of years. And me and the guy kind of had ties together because we kind of had a history from a past situation, you know. And during my time, I met him. I met of him while I was in prison, and the way they had my name ringing in the streets, in his mind, I guess I appeared to be a bigger figure. And up on my release.
Now, when you say bigger figure, you mean in stature, money wise, or street name, or credibility, or how so?
A little bit above, all of the above.
Okay.
But I guess they had me looking like I was 10 feet two, you know what I mean, or whatever. and so when we talked over the phone, he was sure me, hey man, everything is this and this and that or whatever. And he was very humble.
So do you mind going into, if you don't want to, that's cool, I understand, but do you mind elaborating on how you met this character that you end up having to do something to?
I'm gonna say this, and we both have. I have a daughter. He was married to my daughter's mother.
Okay.
And as far as I'm gonna put it right there.
Gotcha.
And like I said, when I was in prison, you know, I called, check on my daughter, whatever. He assured me all this. He was a very humble guy, very meek. But when I got out, I met him. And the day that I met him, it's just, you know, you get that vibe. The day I met him, he really actually got to physically see me. His persona changed instantly, you know.
So the day you met him, like soon as y'all laid eyes on each other, everything he was saying when you were calling home, that went out the window.
Yeah, pretty much, because he was in size, he was bigger than I was.
Okay.
You know, and so that look was, oh, this who, you know, and so on or whatever. My daughter come to the door, we chop it up or whatever. And
hey, hold on one second, Will. Hey, I want to take a time out to shout out to everybody who coming into the room. You know, I don't want y'all to think we overlooking y'all. I see the numbers steady going up, so we appreciate y'all checking in. For y'all who ain't caught up to speed yet, we talking about self-incrimination. How much snitching is too much goddamn snitching? And have you ever been in a situation with law enforcement, self-defense wise or anything, where you talk too much and ended up putting more pressure on yourself than what was necessary? But okay, Will, my bad.
Well, no problem. Anyway, that day I knew then that it was gonna be some kind of issue, which I had no idea what it would be. You know, with me, I was the same from the time he met me, and therefore. So fast forward the situation, I got out 02. 05, we was going to child support court or whatever. And my daughter's mother called him to vent, you know, just let him know what's going on, giving him a rundown. And from my understanding, she was just venting to him, but he took it upon himself to come to the courthouse. So he made it to the courthouse that day, approached me in a disrespectful manner. And from the door, I tell him, hey, look out, man. You want to talk like me and we can talk. Other than that, I ain't got no words for you. We on about our business. That was like on a Tuesday or Wednesday. And he cursed and all kind of nonsense.
He got a little belligerent with you.
So he
got a little belligerent.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this, Will. So you saying this man has something to say about your situation with your child and your daughter mama?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Carry on.
And so,
man.
And so, you know, I handled the situation the best I know how. Look out, man. You know, you want to talk like two men, we could talk. Other than that, I ain't got no time for bumping or whatever. So we go to court, handle that court date that day. Get out of court. I go on about my week as normal. I had just opened up a barbershop. I had just got finished school, opened up a barbershop and everything. And one of my partners was also one of his associates or whatever. And so that evening at the court, apparently they had hooked up or linked up or something. And I didn't find a lot of this out till later later on after the situation, but he told him what he apparently wanted to do and all that. So my partner told him, hey, man, leave that dude alone. You don't know him, you know, whatever. But he still macho and want to show that he who he is, I guess. So that Saturday, we was at the shop. And he calmed down. Like I say, we had mutual friends in certain areas. And one of my barbers cut his hair. And he come to the shop, come in. When he walked through the door, he was like, what's up, bitch? You know, hold on, man. You know, you can leave with all that nonsense. So
I see Juice shaking his
by
head.
this time, I black out because I really don't want to, because I know my situation. I'm still on parole at the time.
Right, okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm knowing what I'm up against. So I'm trying to diffuse the situation before it get out of hand. But he sit there and he steady running his mouth. I black out. I go to the back, get a pipe or something. I come back, not really want to hurt the man, but let the man know I'm not going to play with you. You know, I hit him a couple of times or whatever. And he get up out the shop, but he threatened, I'll be back.
Okay.
You know, first I paid it over. I kind of blew it past, okay, yeah, whatever. But I thought about it because I had been shot previous myself. And just that morning, somebody had got murdered that morning. And I'm looking at the situation from a broad perspective. And we kept a firearm on the premises. The guy who actually owned the building. And we kept a firearm on the premises. So some just told me, go strap up just in case. So anyway, I go strap up. And he leave. About 30 minutes later, he pulled back up. And when he pulled back up, he had a knife. He come in with a knife, charging, real aggressive, whatever. I had a client at the time. And the client was a young child, so I turned the chair around and deflect him so he won't get on or whatever. And he come in, storm, and still ran. Me still knowing my situation, trying to handle the situation to where it don't get out of control.
Right.
But he was insisting on whatever his business was going to be. So I seen that his aggression was getting built up, so I leave him inside of the shop. And he followed me out, and he studied charging with his knife. So I finally pulled out the firearm. I said, I'm going to ask you one more time to leave. And what you going to do? You going to shoot me? And he made a charge to her. And I didn't have no choice but to defend myself in that situation.
Right.
So I fired the firearm. He got shot or whatever. I had to go home because I was fresh married and everything. I had to go home, tell my wife or whatever, because I knew just at that moment, just knowing about the laws, like we spoke last week, a fella with a firearm and all that. So I'm knowing that I'm finna be out of here.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, long story short, man.
So let me ask you this: felon with a firearm in the state of Texas. This happened in Texas, right?
That's right.
To your knowledge, felon with a firearm in Texas, how much time you looking at minimum?
Well, they go off the point system, man. Feds go off the point system, but they start at 5, and then how many other points is on your record, they add on as to that. You know what I mean? Okay. So just say a person in my position, I was easily looking at 15 or more, easily just for the firearm. You know?
Damn, 15 off the muscle for protecting yourself.
My point system, you know, because I got priors. You know what I mean? And my rap sheet long as the city bus.
Damn.
So I was looking at least 15 off the muscle. That's just for the firearm. That's not even including the incident. But when I got my wife, because I didn't know what I was up against. Me being honest, my mind was jet. You know, go. And I have a lawyer friend up in Missouri, and I called him and I explained to him the situation that night. And he listened to the whole story. And he said, if everything went on the way you telling me, bro, he said, you didn't do nothing wrong. You defended. You got the right to defend yourself. So
now hold on right there. Now hold on right there, because last week Billy had asked the question, How would you feel if a convicted felon or something like that hurt somebody that you love with a pistol or whatever? And my question to the people who are, active in the chat and listening and watching and engaged, man, what y'all think, man? So if y'all had a relative of y'all or friend that confronted somebody about something that really didn't have nothing to do with them, but at the same time they was kind of inserting themselves in the situation based on the relationship that they was in with the lady, or vice versa, whatever. How would y'all feel in that situation with a person being a felon and shooting them? Because last week the topic was, should a felon have the right to bear arms? So this is kind of like piggybacking off that, kind of sort of. It's not really about being a felon, but at the same time, this coincide with what Billy was saying, because y'all hearing Will's side of the story, and he know what he been through. But I just want to talk to y'all in the chat and ask, how would y'all feel about that situation? Would y'all feel like him as a felon, he shouldn't have had that firearm, or how do y'all feel about that situation? But my bad, Will. Go ahead.
No, it's all right. But like I said, that was that Saturday, and so I got out of Dodge for a minute, and that Monday morning I called my PO, and I was explaining to her what she already knew, because being that you on parole and the police was called in 15 minutes, she know everything that's going on. Just being honest about the situation. But when I called her that Monday morning, she played as if she didn't know what was going on. So I called her, hey, what's going on, and so on. So
now who is this lady again to you? What relationship was she to you again?
She was my parole officer. My PO.
Okay, so by now you talking to your parole officer.
Yeah, this is Monday morning.
Okay.
I called her first. As soon as the parole office opened up, I called her and let her know what's going on. So I called her, hey, how you doing, Miss So-and-so? I say, she asked me how I was doing. I told her, well, over the weekend I had an altercation. I explained to her what happened. And she was like, where you at? I said, well, I'm not going to let you know where I'm at. I said, but I'm not going to run. I said, I just got married and everything. And I want to spend a couple of days with my family before I turn myself in. So she inquired on you, when you going to turn yourself in? I let her know. I said, I'll have to be with that Wednesday.
Now, at this time, she let you know that she knew what was up?
Well,
or she still...
after I explained everything, yeah, she let me know she knew what was up, and made sure I didn't run or whatever. I told her I'm not going to run. I said, I'm going to spend the time with my family or whatever. And,
now, let me ask you this. Now, going into that situation, you told her, I'm not going to tell you where I'm at, whatever. I want to spend time with my family. Now, right there, for somebody who in that situation, felon or not, would you advise them based on your situation from what you've encountered to not directly turn themselves in right then? Or was that just something you chose to do not knowing how it was going to turn out? Because what if they had to send a manhunt out for you? Well, he ain't died, did he?
Nah.
Okay, but by him not dying, what if they had to send a manhunt out? Did that play in your mind? Like, damn, they might send the people looking for me, or what was you thinking?
All that played out of my head, man. I'm gonna be straight up honest with you, because like I said, at the moment, I didn't know what I was looking at. I was prepared to go ahead and go, walk that walk. You know what I mean? Because the situation was done, couldn't be taken back, and it was what it was. So I was mentally preparing myself to go ahead and take my journey. You know what I mean? But like I explained to her, let me spend some time with my family. Because she knew my situation. She knew I was a stand-up guy. So she was understanding. She was just like, don't run. I told her, I said, I'll be there Wednesday, turn myself in.
Okay.
So that Wednesday come, I make it to the police department. And when I enter into the intake area, officer that approached me used to be a narcotics officer, and she knew who I was very well. And being the time over the years that I was gone, she got promoted from narcotics to lead detective. And she said she actually had played a part of sending me to prison. So when I get into the intake area, they take me back into the interview room. She, you know, sit down, hey, how you doing, Mr. Williams? And we chopped it up for a second. And
so at this time,
you mind telling me what happened?
So at this time, y'all face to face.
Yeah, but I'm face to face with one of the officers that sent me to prison the first time I went down. You know, so we sit there, we talk, and she was like, "Do you mind telling me what happened?" I said, "No, I'm gonna tell you everything that happened from the exact day where it started." Okay. You know, and so.
All right, now I gotta stop you right there because we gotta dissect this thing a little bit because the topic is how much snitching is too much snitching and self-incrimination, because not in your situation, but a lot of times with rappers or just people in general, it could be street people, it could be regular civilians or whoever. Oh, they told on me. But some of the things that they say and do or put on social media, they don't realize they really kind of telling on themselves. You know what I mean? So all this happened in a self-defense situation, and now it's time to talk to the police. Now let me ask you this: did you have a lawyer present while you were talking to this?
No.
So this is just you and her talking.
Yeah.
So not having a lawyer there, were you sure what you should say? And by you telling, when you told her, I'm gonna tell you everything that happened, from your code of conduct and knowing about the streets and doing time, would that be considered self-snitching on yourself, or looking back on it?
My situation, I'm gonna tell you, you know, you got, like you said, you got to know when to speak and when to hold your tongue. You know, sometimes 99% of the time, it's best you hold your tongue. But being that my situation, I'm on parole, I'm gone no matter how you look at it from my standpoint. So I wasn't worried about a lawyer at that present moment because a lawyer couldn't save me no matter. Only thing I would have been doing is forking out money. You know what I'm saying? Because the system gonna do whatever the system gonna do to because you still ain't property.
Now let me ask you this: had you not been on parole, would you have still done it the same way, or would you have had a lawyer?
I would have got a lawyer. If I wouldn't have been on parole, I would have immediately had a lawyer retained and everything.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But being that I was on parole, I'm still property of the state. When you on parole, probation, you property of the state. So whatever they gonna do with you, they gonna do anyway. Now, I will say this. If you try to play self-defense, get you a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? But if your situation is truly self-defense and you can bag up what you're saying, it's okay to speak to a living. You know, that's my opinion. But as we sit there and we talk, I told her, I'm going to tell you what happened from day one. We didn't talk about the day.
Hey, not to cut you off, Will, but Danny, shout out to Danny, man. That brother left me a cold message, man, about his experience or whatever in his life. Man, if you comfortable, Danny, I would like to bring you on camera, man, and let you chop it up with us, because you got a powerful story too, man, on your situation. I would love for you to come on here, brother, and interact with you tonight. Like I told you yesterday in the comment when you replied to the show, man. Shout out to you, bro, because you been through some things too. I would love to hear your insight on it too, from your perspective. But my bad, we'll keep going.
Oh, no problem. Anyway, I told her, I said, I'm not going to start today that the incident happened. I said, I'm going to take you to the very beginning of the situation.
Okay.
And see, that Tuesday or Wednesday when we was going to court and he approached me, it was two lawyers outside of the courthouse holding a conversation. And one of the lawyers I had hired previous back in my prior years, you know what I mean? And so he halfway remembered who I was. But the guy made threats like, no, this and this and this and that, and all kind of sort of stuff that day. And, you know, cursed me out. And I like I said, I walked away from the situation that day. But he already had attention to what he wanted to do, I guess. So I explained to the detective the entire from how it started into how it ended up, and uh, after I gave my statement, she said, "Well, he gave a complete different statement," which, of course, I guess, and plus he was going through surgeries or whatever. Uh, so they had to go back and get his statement and retake his statement, and he, from my understanding, he kept giving out the same statement. So after after turning myself in, the detective looked at me. She said, "I know I've been knowing you for years. Never known you to be, you know, on some dumb stuff."
So
She said,
I'm guessing he was taking the victim stance.
yeah, he was
Of
playing
course,
victim. Yeah, he
of
played
course,
victim the whole entire time.
of course.
Okay.
And
What's going on, everybody? Hey, let
but
me, man, bro. I,
Kick up does what's good. OG, $2 what's good, man. Ski that what's good. Ghetto what's good, man.
yeah, what's up, everybody, man? Welcome to Wild Wild Wednesday. Hey, but Will, man, bro, sitting here listening to this, man, this shit hard to stomach, bro. I'm gonna keep it a buck, man. Like, hey, he started this shit. He bought a knife to a gunfight, and then he go
Well, back up, Juice.
wait, wait,
Before he brought the knife, he came up there on the rah-rah and got
yeah,
hands
this is
put on
after
him,
the
and he
lockdown.
didn't want to accept that like a man. Then he come back with the knife.
yeah,
Man,
and
bro,
and so I tell the detective the whole situation. She played it out in her head while I'm sitting there. And the last remark she made to me, she said, "Mr. Williams, she said, I've been knowing you for a long time." She said, "Now, if this would have been drug related, I'd be ready to send you back to prison." She said, "But I know you, and your whole thing has always been about selling drugs or whatever, whatever." And she said, "I never known you to be an instigator." She said, "So what I'm going to do," she said, "I'm not going to file charges on you today." She said, "I'm going to do a full investigation and get all the witnesses' statements and all that." And I let her know about the courthouse situation and the lawyers that was out there, whatever. And she done her investigation. I wound up sitting in jail for a year for that situation, man.
Okay.
And after a year,
All right, so let me ask you this about the jail, because that's what I wanted to get to too. I was just waiting to see was you gonna say something about the jail part. Okay, now, with the jail situation, she didn't charge you for it, but like at that time when you sat in there, did you have a bond and just chose not to bond out, or they had a hold on you because of your parole situation?
you had a parole hold. You know, once you got a parole hold, you don't get no bond, no none of that. You
Okay,
ain't getting out of jail. If you see a man go to jail and he on parole and he get right out of jail and say he made bond,
he telling.
he lied. He tell he snitching. You know, I'm gonna be straight front with you. You don't get bonds on parole until parole clear you to go. You
man,
Okay,
know,
bro,
parole clear you to go. The state clear you to go.
okay,
So if
man,
somebody on parole, now probation is a 50-50, but parole, you don't get no bond until the state clear you.
man,
okay.
that's deep, bro.
So
Man,
Now,
that like this shit hard.
now in your situation, because I want to dive into this a little bit to kind of get different perspective. Now, can you clarify the difference between probation, parole, and just flat time? And the reason why I'm asking that is because depending on which situation you was in, flat time, parole, or probation, would that have dictated would you have even sat in jail anyway? Or because of the act of shooting him, you had to go to jail? Or was that only strictly because of parole? Like if you had a flat time from your sentence when you got out and that incident have happened, would you have had to go to jail at all? Or if you was on probation, would you have had to go to jail and could you have bonded out? What was the difference between them situations?
well, if I would have walked my time down flat, I wouldn't have owed the state nothing.
Okay.
And chances are, if they would have felt that it was self-defense, I could have walked out the jailhouse the same day.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Now, with probation, it's a little bit different than parole. Because probation is like a foot in and a foot out. You 50% to the state, and you still got 50% of your rights.
Okay.
With the probation, because you haven't been totally convicted on probation. You have been found guilty, but you still have a few rights because you haven't been to prison yet. And it's more. The probation is more. I guess you want to say 1 foot in, 1 foot out. That's the best way I can put it. You know, in parole, the state already you their property. You know, when you on parole, you belong to the state of Texas until your time is done, or wherever you may be, Illinois, Tennessee, Mississippi, wherever you at, you are their property, as long as you on parole.
Okay. All right. So after that, you sit in jail for a year. Not in terms of your past, because that is what it is. You had already done your time. You just sitting in jail. What's going through your mind in this whole year? Are you in contact with the lady? You talking to your lawyer? They giving you feedback on what you looking at for the time? At this point, do you know if you looking at time for shooting him or just a gun, or what's going on at this point while you sitting there?
Well, while I'm sitting in jail at times, like I say, I really didn't have I was still looking at, okay, I'm gonna have to face some kind of blues, you know what I mean? Because I know just that gun alone is starting at 5. And like I said, it's a point system to go along with it. So they could have gave me any parts of it. So at the time, my ex-wife, she was in contact with my PO. My PO stayed in contact with me on the constant. At least once a month, she'd come by and check on me and give me an update of what she knew.
Okay, now this is your ex-wife, so this is the person that the situation stemmed from.
No.
Okay.
My daughter's mother's the situation.
Okay. I'm thinking. So, did you have any contact with your daughter's mother? And if so, was she feeling like he was a victim at that point, or did she kind of help you out with actually telling the lady, like, yes, they did get into it at the court to kind of help your case out?
Well, actually, he started blaming her for the situation. And like I say, because I learned a lot of stuff after the fact.
Right.
But he started blaming her for the situation. And they kind of fell sour after the situation. And
did any of that help your case?
Well, no, not because really she kept her distance because my wife was on her business. My ex-wife was on her business at the time.
Okay.
So we really didn't need nothing. She stayed. My ex-wife stayed in contact with my parole officer, the county where everything took place, and she was doing what she needed to do. And it took for about 11 months for them to come up with a no bill. And I was no billed about 11 months later, because in the investigation, everything that I told her turned out to be exactly what it was.
Right.
So the state understood they didn't have a case, and from my understanding, the feds didn't want to even tie themselves up in it because it was a self-defense case.
Now let me ask you this: so the no bill, with the year in jail, how much of that time do you think spent on some bullshit versus some bullshit like they could have been did all that? They was just trying to see was you gonna break and confess to something else versus that's just the process of sitting it, till it was done. Do you think it could have been sped up faster, or that's typical?
Well, I'll be honest with you. From my past had a lot to play with it. You know what I mean? I believe that to this day. And
man, I appreciate you, Danny, for that $10, man. We appreciate you supporting the channel, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Well, we appreciate it, Dan. Hey, he said send that link too when you get a chance. I don't know if you seen it, Gershon.
Okay. I'm sending it out now. Go ahead, Will. I'm sorry about that.
And
Sorry about that, Will.
no problem. I think my past played a lot in it. I think they wanted to be thorough in a decision that they made. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to say nothing bad about the
Right.
system on that.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because I believe they done what they needed to do to make sure they were making the right decision.
Gotcha.
You know, and so after I was no-bill, you know, the state of Texas still got to get theirs. So they recommended I take what they call a technical violation. And you go to an ISF inmate sanction facility for that. And you go anywhere from 30 days to 120 days.
Man, tap in. We appreciate that, brother, man. Thank you so much, man. We appreciate all y'all donations to the channel, man. Much love to y'all. We appreciate that.
We appreciate
Okay,
that for real.
So you get sent to this inmate sanction facility. Is that, I'm trying to see how I want to work. Was that kind of like a tap on the wrist compared to what they was trying to, or what they was gonna do to you, or trying to do to you, or like was that centered around the actual shooting at this point? Was that just for the gun and you being a felon? Like what was the reason for sending you to that?
Because of the firearm. I believe it was for the firearm. You know what I'm saying? They just didn't want to let me walk scot-free, because technically I did violate my parole, and they gave me 120 days. They maxed me out on that.
Okay.
You know, and I take the punishment gratefully, because
So Will,
I understand the situation. Like I said, I'm not one, now that I done grew up and matured and I can look at the situation from a broad perspective. I don't blame them for what they did. You know what I'm saying? Because you got loose cannons, then you got people that's just trying to survive. And so, with that being said, I think they made the right decision, and I don't hold no bitterness behind it.
Now let me ask you this: at any point, did you ever feel like after the situation and everything you did, you know, whatever, went to the inmate sanction facility and all that was done, as a free man again, did you at any point feel like, damn, I could have did a different way, or do you feel like it was worth it, and that if you had to, you'd rather do it again? Not with him, but I'm saying in that you'd rather take that risk again, knowing that in that situation you could be looking at least 5 to 15 or whatever.
As a man, I would tell you, I'd rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6 any day. And I don't regret my decision, because I try to diffuse the situation before it even escalated.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't have no guilt behind the situation. Now, do I hate the situation happened? Because I got to look at his children. I mean, I love his kids as my own to this day. You know
hey, Danny, we sent that link out, so all you got to do, brother, is just click on that link, and it'll bring you into the studio, man. And anybody else who might want to come in and chop it over with Will, y'all got any questions? And that question still apply to everybody in the chat, man. We need y'all engaged in here. We need y'all chopping it up with us, man. We need y'all smashing that like button if y'all ain't did it. And tell a friend, man. Y'all come check us out and let us know, in addition to this topic, what other topics do y'all want to see coming from Wild Wild Wednesday going forward in the 2A community, or just in general, man, because we here to talk about real life situations, socioeconomic situations, and just things that affect communities all across America, man. So, like, in that situation, how do y'all feel about self-snitching? Like, what is, you know, Will told y'all his situation on why he chose to deal with the authorities in the way he did, but sometimes when you get stopped by the police or get questioned in certain situations, sometimes you can incriminate yourself and say too goddamn much. You know what I'm saying? You get caught with a firearm. If you get stopped by the police and you got a weapon in the car and they ask you, is anything in the car? Do y'all feel like y'all have to tell that? Like, what's too much snitching when you dealing with the authorities. And this is not a question that we trying to evade the law necessarily, or trying to be career criminals or nothing. It's just protecting yourself. You know what I'm saying? Because I was looking at Travis Evans. What's good, man? Okay, gun etiquette. We're gonna talk about that for sure, man. We'll do that on the next episode, bro. We'll talk about gun etiquette next week. But I was looking at this show with this dude called Sean Ryan. And some of y'all might know Sean Ryan, but I don't know if he was prior military. I'm guessing he is. But he bring a lot of veterans on his show, and they talk about different shit that happened to them in the military with their deployments. And they be telling like some fucked up shit. You know what I'm saying? And it's a good show. I like watching it. They tell some fucked up shit because these dudes talk about kills they done got, times they done been shot, this, that, and the third. When we talking about the government, you know what I'm saying, and law enforcement, and all these are different entities. But at the same time, in our personal, these are different entities. In the government, we have to abide by the laws of the land as citizens of the United States. And owning a gun, it's a lot of responsibility that come with it. Touching a gun, it's a lot of responsibility that come with it. And what I'm trying to say is like, it's still shit that go on with us in our personal lives. And when you're dealing with law enforcement, even in the military, it's just shit that they don't talk about. It's on a need to know basis. But it seemed like when it comes to us as civilians, they want you to, a lot of times, and this is not knocking nobody who served in the military. This is not what that is. So anybody who listening, don't take this the wrong way. But it's damn near like they want you to confess or tell. And I guess what I'm saying is, what makes our everyday life any different than a motherfucker in the military or in law enforcement? Because, okay, let's say you're a police officer. You go into a situation, it's a hostile situation, and you have to present your firearm and you shoot somebody, kill them. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bro. As a law enforcement officer, you're going to write that paperwork in a way that's going to protect you. You're not going to write it in an ignorant way. You're not going to write it in a way that's going to get you, even if you're in the wrong. It's very few officers that going to come out and say, I fucked up. If they do, it's going to be behind closed doors or what, because you see a lot of officers that go to trial, and this ain't a color thing. This just, you see a lot of officers that go to trial for shooting people, and they just going to shut the fuck up. Bottom line, you know what I'm saying? In the military, when shit happen in war, we don't know. You see people on the news, they've been to Iraq, they've been to Afghanistan, they've been to different deployments. It's so many wars that be fought that we don't even fucking know about. But these people in other countries right now going through the trenches of some grimy shit. And they talk and only they know about it. You know what I'm saying? You see somebody come home from Iraq with their face blew off, and they been in the trenches doing some gangster shit. Now, when it comes to us as citizens, it's stuff going on in America where in these different neighborhoods, urban communities for damn show, to where you got to protect yourself. Would it be wise for us to move more militant? How do you protect yourself? Because, okay, and now, I told you from the perspective of a police officer shooting somebody, how they gonna write it up. You take just the average person, they present their firearm, they shoot somebody. They're not, the average goddamn person ain't gonna say, I was coming to the northeast part of the parking lot. I seen the suspect or the guy standing about 30 meters out or about 6 yards out. Yeah. He posed as a threat. I seen him reach for his firearm, and then I presented mine. I ducked for cover. They're not, the average person ain't gonna articulate themselves like that. That's why you need a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? So this is real life shit, people. What we talking about? Like, how much snitching is too much snitching? And if you was in that situation, how would y'all handle it?
Hey, but bro, a lot of times when I this the way I feel about it. When people in that situation, man, they always trying to talk their way out of trouble. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, all you be doing is digging your own goddamn grave, man. Trying to talk yourself out of trouble with the police. First of all, they ain't your buddy. They there to do a job. This like you go clock in. They there to do their job. They trying to get it done as fast as possible. You play up their day, man. It don't matter where you going after that. If you're going home or to the booty house, they don't care, man. And a lot of people don't understand that. They just don't click. They'll spill your guts, but man, shit, you might as well just be quiet. Now my brother Willie Biggs in that situation, he said he was already on parole, and he already kind of had a relationship with the lady. He said, "Look, I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. This what happened from day one." And by the graces of God, man, she took his word from his character and how she knew him from the past, and then did the investigation. Just imagine if she didn't do the investigation. But just imagine if she would have got the federal feds involved, because from my understanding, I thought that was a Fed case too. That's the question I was gonna ask. Would it be a firearm involved in that situation? Would that be a Fed case too?
Yeah, because the feds could
case?
have picked it up. The feds could have picked up the case easily.
That's what I'm saying.
But like I said, I studied law library 6 years straight. At that time, I had 6 years of law library behind me. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't ignorant to the law. That's first and foremost.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you don't know anything about the law, first thing you do, number one thing, keep your mouth shut. You know, in any situation, like I say, my situation was a little bit different, and it had a trail behind it. You know, and so that was why I was able to speak on it. You know, and like I said, I belonged to the state at the time, so in my mind I was gone anyway. You know, that in my mind I was gone.
Right.
I didn't see nothing but God.
And Sean said the police are not to determine if you're guilty, and that's real. I can agree to that. You know what I'm saying? I could definitely agree to that with no disagree at all. But I will say this: it ain't gonna stop them from pressuring the shit out of you.
I will tell you this too.
Yeah.
It's the way that they write their report that have a major effect on the way the DA and the prosecutors look at your case.
Right.
You know, the way they write that statement out, that plays 80% of what that DA and prosecutor gonna look at. You know, so they do have a lot of impact on your arrest. They can't convict you, but they can damn sure do a hell of a job to make sure you get convicted.
And they tend to ask a lot of goddamn questions. You could tell them, you know, I don't really want to talk. I want a lawyer, and they'll still be like, "Well, I'm just trying to get a little information, this, that, and the third." And you end up saying a little bit, and then you say a little bit more, and then next thing you know, you talking. You know what I'm saying? And that's not all police. You know what I'm saying? Some of them really do try to help you, but then some of them, shit, they just trying to, you know, whatever you want to tell them. You know what I'm saying?
Bad. They got good cop, bad cop, man.
Right.
And like I said, with that situation, with the shooting situation, I had no choice but to, because he gave a statement, and as I learned from the statement he gave, he was the victim. So I had to open my mouth to go from day one. You know, but had it been any other situation, and I'm a free man. You know, I have no nothing, no dealings. So if I was to go get into something, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm getting me a lawyer and let's go to work.
Now this is not lawyer, okay? Because this is some shit I don't even know. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. This is for real. I really don't know. Because I ain't never been in a self-defense situation where I had to talk to the police. You know what I'm saying? A lot of shit I did when I was growing up, I was trying to get away with. I ain't trying to talk to no goddamn police. But as a law-abiding citizen now, this is shit that I want to know. So, lawyer, uh, let's say you get a lawyer for, and not your situation, just a situation, self-defense, or just you shoot a motherfucker. Anybody in the comment section that's a lawyer or Lou, you know, if you let's say you tell your lawyer some grime and shit, but this is your lawyer, not a quarter pointer lawyer. This is the lawyer you paying for out of your pocket. How invested in you are they? Do they have obligation to say no? I can't fuck with that. I can't represent you, or will most of them say, you know what? I'm gonna still represent you and try to get you off. If you tell them straight up, like, man, I did some grime and shit, I popped his ass.
Yeah, and you depend on your money, that lawyer. You know what I'm
That's what I'm
saying?
thinking.
Because I tell you from experience.
I guess what I'm asking is, do you supposed to half-ass lie to your lawyer too, or do you tell your lawyer everything?
First of all, you want to investigate
It
the
depends on how
lawyers
much money you got.
that you gonna hire to protect you, because you should be able to sit down and tell your lawyer everything. You should be able to. You know what I'm saying? They go back to your money. You know, if you ain't got no money, you know, shut your mouth. But if you got enough to get you a good lawyer, and this lawyer want to know, hey, just tell me the truth, and I work through the guidelines or whatever. You got those kind of lawyers, you know.
That goes back to what Denzel said, bro. He said, "Hey, what you know is what you can prove."
Yeah.
Like, man, like, you know, if your money long enough, man, to fight this for real. But it's gonna hit you. Look what my man say, 30K. Like, it's gonna hit you. I got a feeling they hit your pockets, man. Man, bro.
Damn.
But it's just I tell and I also say this, and I do know this for a fact. If you do, as a law-abiding citizen, have to ever fire your firearm to protect yourself, and you're a law-abiding citizen, you really protect yourself. Don't leave that scene. You dial 911. You call the police, and you wait there for the police to get there. If you were in a truly self-defense situation. Now, you just, like I say, it's limited to what you say, but it'll work better in your favor if you really protected yourself versus some street, I'm gonna do some grimy shit. You know.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
It's
real.
such a sophisticated discussion, y'all. It's all about what you say, what they say, what them cameras saying, and how the report written up, what the judge think, what the jury them think. Man, bro, this is a situation where, bro, you almost gotta have a little bit of luck on your side, man. and
I
Well,
want to
this
ask this
that
to
key
the.
word because now it's cameras everywhere, man. I mean, it's on every corner. It's a camera, so you know
it all depends on what they
it
see, though, Will. It all depends on what that camera see. You know what
Well,
I
see,
mean?
this
How
is
about
this,
you don't
this is
catch?
a question. This is a question I got for the comment section. How many of y'all are gun owners that know y'all actual laws in y'all state pertaining to using a firearm? Like that's a question I want to know to the comment section.
Capital
Like,
doctrine, right to
right? Because
retreat,
I
right to duty to retreat. You know, man, like these laws, man. You would think you in the right, man, and be totally bogus and out of the law. But like Michaela said, man, you gotta have some carrier insurance, man. We gonna be one of them channels to push that, man. If you gonna own firearms and do it responsibly, man, that should be number one, man. That carrier insurance, man, and it's cheap. It's like $40 a month, man, $50 a month. Like, man,
and
you
another
gotta have
question I
some.
got to ask y'all too. In the comment section, like shit, man. How many of y'all, Will was in a situation where he had to defend himself. You know what I'm saying? That's a person that know what they will do and what they won't do. How many of y'all know for a fact without a doubt that you will shoot a motherfucker if you had to? Like, not on no bogus stuff. I'm
Yeah,
saying like
that's a cold
real,
question, Gershon.
like real life self defense. How many of y'all, like, even if you told a gun, like, I don't want to hear all that bullshit. Be real with us, with the panel, with the chat. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, like, how many of y'all are actually scared to pull that trigger though in a self defense situation? Scared because you scared of what the police gonna do to you if you know, just because you don't know, or you scared just because you scared to kill somebody if you had to, or you scared to shoot somebody in general, even if you told a gun. Because a lot of times we say, I know I do this, and then when the time comes, you really ain't gonna do shit. You know what I'm saying? You just got a gun, it's collecting dust, you use it for a toy, because you could have the coldest goddamn hammer in the drawer. But if you don't know how to drive a nail, shit, what's the purpose of the hammer? You know what I'm saying? Shit, you could have a knife in the drawer, but hell, if it ain't sharp, it won't cut bread. You know, a lot of people walk around with guns, you know, legal guns, and still ain't gonna goddamn use them. You know what I'm saying? That's what I want. I want to know. You know, like, for real, and that ain't no shot. That is not a shout to nobody, because a lot of people in this chat probably do YouTube, or, you know, show yourself doing drills. So yeah, we know you will shoot, but like, we talking about it like just in the actual self-defense situation. How many people in the chat are comfortable actually defending themselves with a firearm? That's the question.
Man, bro, hey, Gershon, that's a hell of a question, bro. It's hard to ask folks that, man. Because to be honest, man, I don't want no smoke. Leave juice alone. I ain't trying to do nothing to nobody, man. And man, like, shit, I ain't trying to go to jail. Shit, that's a. I think everybody, man, it's just that fear of the unknown. Like, because like you said, a lot of people ain't been through it, bro. Ain't nobody ever been through no 72-hour investigations. A lot of folks, uh, man, man. But
So let
USCCA
me ask you
proven that
this,
you got it.
Lou, did you have any reservations about defending yourself at that time? Like, did you have any adrenaline rush? Was you nervous? And if so, was it strictly because of the fact of your situation, of you being on parole, or just in general of actually having to use the
Well,
firearm? What was going through your head at that point?
me being like I said, I try to be out of it because I don't want to sound all flamboyant. I'm not gonna feed nobody no bullshit. Really, when it come to defend, I'm never scared to defend myself. Point blank period. But as you grow older and you look at it, I don't want to harm anybody. I'd rather for us to go home, live to see another day or whatsoever. I'm not into that, because I'd rather box it out, to tell you the truth. Before I shoot you, I'd rather get out there and let's dance with it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But in these days, it's time, it's hard, motherfucker rather go gangster than take a black eye. You know what I mean? But no, I don't have no regrets.
Shorties, man. It's the shorties.
Well, come back, Juice.
I said it's the short who changed the game, bro. Like, yeah, back in the 90s, here we fought, man. At least we'd throw a couple of punches before everybody start shooting, man. These dudes,
Yeah.
5'2", 120 pounds, soaking wet, with the biggest guns on them. They be pulling them out of everywhere in the blasted, bro. They shooting. Like,
So do y'all feel like, I know this
we-
might be a little off topic, but so as grown adults, y'all still would rather have a good old fashioned fist fight versus pulling a pistol?
Any day. Any day. I'm not gonna lie to you. Any day. I'd rather get out there. Let's go get busy. You know what I mean? You know, may the best man
My big
win.
ass will get
What
picked
about
up,
y'all
bro.
in the comment section? What age do y'all feel like is too old to be tussling with somebody?
Hey, Will, I'm
Because
shooting
there's
you some
other
snacks,
shit to
man.
worry about than just a gun. You got
Hey,
people
bro,
who carry sharp knives on them that's gonna cut you to pieces. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I was talking to my uncle over the weekend, and we was just sitting down because I went on a hunting trip with my uncle, man, and we was just talking about who were we talking about? We were talking about, I want to say, my great grandfather. We was talking about my no, okay, yeah. I was talking to my uncle, but it wasn't him. I left him, and I was talking to my father, and we were talking about my great grandfather, which is his grandfather, and he was saying back in his day, a lot of those men carried blades on them, and they would cut your ass to pieces. You know what I mean? You'll be sitting up there arguing, and your damn stomach will be hanging open. So back then it was just a different uh generation of people. You know what I mean?
But that was their guns,
People
though.
that play
Bro,
certain
that
shit
was their
and
guns.
they would hurt you. You know what I mean? And I feel like now it's still like that
yeah,
to a certain extent. People will hurt you because it's crime and it's violence going on. America's bred off violence. But at the same time, you have those group of people who feel like what you need a gun for, or you got some people who feel like the police is the answer to every damn thing, which I'm not opposed to the police at all, because if my life is in danger or my family is in danger, yeah, I want the police to come save me. But in the meantime, in between time, until the police get there, from the time of the response, shit, what would you do when your life on the line? Because let's say you say, I don't believe in guns, because I know some people that say, I don't tote guns, I don't touch them, or whatever. But what do you do in that situation? Because the response, like, do you even know the response time? Depending on where you stay at, how long would it take a police to get there to save your life if something happened? Like, would you rather like wait on the police to come then shoot somebody, or how do y'all feel about that? You know what I mean?
Man, bro.
what I will
This is
say on
man,
this,
Kershaw.
Gershon, man, is
Hey, drop the link, Kershaw.
in, in, in,
Now,
in
go ahead,
today's
Will.
in today's society, everybody got guns, so it really ain't nobody really gonna get out there and box it out. But I will tell you this: if you got the heart to pull that trigger, and you do got to go down there and sit down, whatever state you in, yeah, well, ain't no gun in that party. You got them brother with the long wind, and you gonna box it out. You ain't gonna you gonna box it out, or you gonna be a bitch. Just gonna be straight up honest with you. The gun's gone. You gonna fight it out. So I live out that quote today:
You got to
if
rock.
if I had if I had a preference, I'd rather fight it out. You know what I mean? If I had to get out there, But today's society. That's real hypothetical. You know what I mean? That's real rap.
Man, you gonna be on video, ghetto. I ain't gonna have, unless you turn your unless you turn your screen off. Shit, you gonna be on video. Come on up, bro. You more than welcome.
Now, you ain't
Shit.
got to be on video. This guy, you don't come
Hey,
off
that's real. That's
anonymous
real though,
so.
villain, man. Shit, I know some people who personally, I know some people who killed people with their bare hands. I know like two guys. I ain't gonna say it's a whole plethora of people that I know that done, beat, but I do know two people who done beat somebody to death with their hands or whatever, man. That shit serious. It ain't
Actually,
to say,
more people
you know.
die. I'm just gonna say this: more people die from trips and falls than gunshots. There you go. So, dude, it's your time to go. It's time to go, man.
Yeah, man,
What's
y'all
up?
here
What's up,
wood,
Sean?
man. Y'all hit that
What's
goddamn
going
like
on,
button.
Gary?
I see these people in here.
What's up, Bob?
I need
What's
them
going on, Will?
likes to match. I
Okay,
need the
Carl.
likes to match the views, man. And not because we just here for likes, but that help push this video out. You know what I'm saying? It's the engagement, man. Y'all, a lot of people come in here, they just watch. They don't say nothing. Like, man, y'all engage with us. We ain't gonna say nothing crazy, y'all. We gonna let you make it. You know what I'm saying? Unless you with the shit and you want to come in here and have some fun, we'll jank around with you, man. But it's a safe environment, man. Y'all can come in because, you know, sometimes you go on different channels and talk about a bunch of bullshit. We talking about real life over here. Every day, all day. And twice on Wednesdays, goddamn it. That's all we talking about is real shit. That's all you gonna get in this chat is real shit. And I didn't say that to throw a shot at no channel. So don't even take that shit and run with it. I'm just saying we having real life conversations because this is a situation to where everybody and anybody can be faced with this situation. If you shoot somebody, you're going to have to deal with the police if you're a legal, responsible gun owner, and you need to know that it is possible to self-incriminate yourself. I hear a lot of people say all the time, I'm going to shut up. Well, why are so many goddamn people telling? If everybody was solid, why would First 48 be so goddamn popular? There's no way you going to tell me that every goddamn body is solid. That show is too. That show is too infamous.
They give out too many pieces. They give out too many pieces dinners out there. That's how.
I pray you ain't got no cigarette habit.
You got Marlboros and Newports, man. Let me get one of them. I'm gonna tell you everything that happened, man.
Sean, what's up, man?
What's up, brother?
What's going on, fellas?
What's up, big dog?
Man, nothing much, bro.
How you doing, bro?
Doing pretty good. Hey, what's going on, big Will?
What's going on, Chief?
Hey, not much. Hey, I wanted to kind of chime in on something y'all said a little earlier about would you be scared to shoot? I'm not going to say I'd necessarily be scared to shoot. I would be more so afraid of the aftermath and what my family would have to go through with me if I have to do something like that. You know, we all carry guns or whatever weapon to protect ourselves. One of the biggest things that go behind that is getting training on the proper way to use those tools, whatever you choose to carry. You know, it just comes down. Me, I've actually had to use my firearm in a situation before when I lived in Minnesota, and I can honestly tell you, I'm more afraid of a dog than I am a person. You know, and I actually had to kill a dog, a pit bull, up in Minnesota in 2005. And the reason why I say I'm more afraid of a dog than I am a person, a dog has 4 legs and those big ass teeth that won't let go. A person, I can get the drop on you just as good as you can get it on me. We got 2 hands, 2 legs. But a dog, that to me is like the biggest fear I have. They pop out on you. They can be on your ass like that. A person, look, you could be just as slow as me or as quick as me, and we both have the same opportunity. But a dog, That's what scares me the most.
Now, when you shot that dog, man, how did that motherfucker sound when you hit him, bro? I heard this story, man. Cause Sean, I feel his leader, Copper Sports, and he told this story before, man. And I'm just messing with you, big dog, but you said in that defensive encounter, it kind of went blank. Like you really wasn't hearing too much of nothing.
The only thing I saw, you look, and when they tell you that shit slows down, you see shit in slow motion, that's true. You know, when they say you're hearing, you can't hear certain things, all that shit is true. I don't remember the sound that the gun made. I just saw some big ass teeth, and and all I remember was pulling my gun. And all I heard was a bark from the dog, like he got hit, and then took off. And then after that, I was talking to the cops about the situation. Other than that, I really don't remember a whole lot about it, except big ass dog, big ass teeth, shot a couple times, dead dog, talked to the cops. That's really all I remember.
So let me ask you this: in that situation, shooting the dog and talking to the cops, how far did that conversation go? How much in depth did that go? Because 223 just said some real stuff, about dogs in certain states having more rights than humans. So you know.
Well, I'll put it to you like this. I know when I lived in Minnesota, and I think it's here the same way here in Illinois, a pet is considered property. So you won't get the same kind of, the same kind of the conversation you would if you shot a person. A dog in certain states are considered property. So at that point, it's not like, well, okay, well, you could have had a conversation with the dog. No, that's not something that you have an option to do with another person. You could have backed out of the situation. That's not an option you have with a damn dog. You can't reason with a dog, like you can reason with a person.
So let me ask you all this, because that's crazy
whatever,
that you
Ghetto.
said that, because if you make a mistake and shoot a damn police dog, your ass going to jail. And that's crazy because once they put that police dog on you, man, how in the hell can a person sit there and tolerate that, though?
Yeah.
If this dog is biting at your groin, if you even punch the dog, you in violation. Like, how do they expect you to sit there and take that? You know what I'm saying?
They don't care,
Well,
bro. These the same people that put these same dogs on our ancestors. It was the same situation.
The thing about it, though, is that a lot of times, when it comes to stuff, that's a double-edged sword, because a lot of times before they release the dog, they normally tell you surrender or we'll release the dog, or unless you're running from them, and they can't catch you and they have to, and they'll yell, I'm going to release the dog or whatever. So they're technically supposed to give you the option to surrender yourself before they just put that dog on you, unless it's some off the wall shit that you've done, like shot somebody and they just want to subdue you quickly.
Right. Man, I don't know if I could take them goddamn teeth gnashing and shit. No.
Yeah.
No, sir.
Don't do no dirt to put yourself in that position, right?
Yeah, man, I'm trying to do my best to stay upstanding. Shit, I'm trying, man.
Look, the funny thing, bro, is that a couple of weeks ago I saw a video to where a guy was fighting this kid. He slammed him to the ground, and he was trying to stick his dog on him, and the dog started to bite the police officer.
Damn. The dog?
Hey.
Yeah, the police dog started biting the police officer. So apparently the police dog thought what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
Dang.
Friendly fire. Shit. You commit
the crime.
Dog said, I've been waiting to get your ass anyway.
Hey,
you ain't my normal trainer.
Who is? I can't see who that is. That's Ghetto up there.
Yeah, what up, Juice? Rashawn?
Ghetto, what up, bro?
Oh, what's going on?
What's up,
y'all? Carver, what's up?
What's going on, Ghetto?
Hey, what's up, Chief?
Y'all got some good conversation, man. I had to, get in on it.
Man, appreciate it. What you got for us, G?
Well, there's times where you need to snitch on yourself, and there's times that you definitely don't need to snitch on yourself. And it all depends on, it depends on a whole lot, but it depends on the evidence they got against you, depends on the situation that you're in. It depends on a whole lot and how they're talking, because if they're talking real big, that means they ain't got no evidence. They just trying to put a whole bunch of stuff out there for you to latch on and be able to, okay, yeah, I did that right there, yeah, right there. And then bam, you're done.
Now let me ask you this, because if you a person like me, I got to ask the question. What would be an example of when I need to snitch on myself? I want to know.
I don't know, man, because even if my old lady caught me with the lady, I ain't snitching on myself. Like,
damn.
Well, he actually said something real vital. Because
that's a whole
when the police got you dead to the right, they don't want no conversation.
I mean, I can give y'all a story.
When they got enough evidence, so they don't want no conversation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I got everything I need. If you don't want to talk, okay, fine, cool, bam. But when they don't have anything, they gonna throw anything out there to see what you bite on.
To see if it'll stick. Exactly, to see if it'll stick.
And it, like I said earlier, and he said the same thing. You got to know when to open your mouth and when to shut your mouth.
Now
Yep.
Ghetto said he got a story. We gonna turn this into story time with Ghetto. What you
Well,
got
yeah.
for us, G?
Well, you
Share
could.
something with him.
So you can
Yeah,
also
yeah.
some. So you can also snitch on yourself and not snitch on yourself at the same time because it all depends on the situation. Now, I gave my story on RGG's some like a year ago, or whatever. So some of y'all know it, and I'm gonna try to shoot through it short. I can't incriminate myself, so I'm good. But I left a comment earlier where I was facing 100 years, 100 plus years, when I was 17 years old. Basically, we went to a block party. Um, I didn't want to go because we were going on the Enemigo side, so it was like, you stupid motherfuckers. But my brothers were going, so I had to go because they're my older brothers. You know, I'm not gonna stay at home. Anyways, so and that's also this is also a situation to where it's good to not have a gun. Like I know everybody's like, what? There's also sometimes where it's good to not have a gun. Basically, instead of going and grabbing the guns, I went and grabbed my knives. And I took them with me instead because, again, I'm 17 years old. We're going to a teenage party on basically the other side of the tracks that I was raised in. So I already knew that most of these cats ain't even got guns. So it's not even on that page over there. But I knew they didn't like us. Anyways, um, what had happened at the story, again, I'll go fully into it later on another time. But as soon as we got there, my brother started getting in a fight with the biggest dude at the party, which I already knew was going to happen because they're on the gangbang page and these other people are just on some, snobby, let's get drunk and have fun page. They clashed. They got in a fight. While I was in the bathroom, I came out the bathroom. My brother had 5 holes in his chest trying to get through the sliding glass door. Dude in the house, he had him locked outside, pushed the dude over, got my brother in the house, looked for my other brother. He was under the pile of people. I'm going to try to not make this graphic, but he was under a pile of people. I grabbed my butcher knives and just started cutting trees down until I got to my brother, grabbed him up, went to the outside. Again, I'm shortening this up, but
Right. Now hold on,
went
let me
to
stop you right there. Let's talk about
We
that
got you.
because a knife versus a gun, you said something interesting. You said you chose to grab your knife.
yes,
When you using a firearm, shit, you could shoot somebody and not even stay to watch the body drop.
right.
You
But
know
I
what I
would have killed
mean? But
everybody. I would have shot the whole party up, and I'd be in prison right now for the rest of my life.
well, the reason
Me,
why I say that is because when you use a knife, that's a more intimate situation. You
trust
know
me,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying? To stick somebody with a knife and shit and feel it scrape their bones and
And the blood
blood
all over your body.
all over you and shit, that's intimate. Everybody don't have the gumption to stab somebody. You know what I mean? Let alone shoot them. But so how do y'all feel about that? Like, if you had to choose a weapon to defend yourself, do most of y'all prefer a gun or would y'all
I'd
rather
prefer
pick?
a gun myself.
What
I'll prefer a gun.
now whatever's available to me at that moment.
Hey, yeah,
Because
that too.
I feel
if now when it comes down to it, if you have to defend yourself in a self-defense situation, you truly have to look at that next person and you have to dehumanize them. Sometimes you have to dehumanize that person to be able to go through with that act. So if I'm looking at somebody that's trying to hurt me or take me from my family, I'm dehumanizing you because your intent is to bring harm to me. So in my
Right.
eyes, now I'm dehumanizing you, so it's easier for me to do what I have to do.
Right. So let me ask you this: how important do you feel like a knife is to your everyday carry? Do you feel like just as equally as important as the gun, or
Hell yeah.
probably
Well, it
it's probably the
it all
equalizer.
depends on what you use it
Man,
for because sometimes most people use their knives for utility kind of shit. Cutting open boxes. You can use your knife if you get into a car accident, have to cut your seatbelt off and stuff like that. I don't look at my
hmm
knife like that. If we're that close, if we're
yeah.
that close, and I can get to my firearm, I'm using that first. To stop the threat. A knife may not always stop the threat, even though a gun may not stop the threat. My gun is more likely to stop the threat than a knife is at that point quickly.
Okay, now I like the fact that you said that about stopping the threat because that lead me to another side note. Do you think it's better to wound a person or kill them?
For me,
Self
no
defense. I'm
comment.
saying state law wise.
No comment.
Do anybody in the
He said
comment
no
section
comment.
It
want to
was
comment on that?
Hey,
Like
hey,
for real,
man,
law enforcement wise, like because I've heard some people say, shit, you get more time for wounding them than you do for killing them. You know what I mean?
you
So
might
yeah, it
be
depends on where you're at.
responsible
Yeah.
for them.
You hear that from some people.
You're gonna be responsible for them, bro. If you like, if they got to collect disability, you're gonna be responsible. That's why a
Right.
lot of
But
but
times
that
people go for the kill.
but ain't that just in the Commonwealth state though?
right, but also as a
Nah,
human
man.
being, it depends on what they're trying to do to you. If they're just trying to hurt you and knock you out, you ain't trying to kill them, man. You don't want to try to kill them. Because if you do kill
Right.
them, all you're going to do is just replay that shit in your head the rest of your life. Like, man, he was just trying to whoop my ass. He wasn't even trying to kill me.
Yeah,
Why I got to take his life?
look, but an
But
ass
you never
whooping
know.
can easily turn in. I knocked this dude out. He hit his head. Now he died.
And then
You
dead.
know,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It all depends on the situation.
you know. So I don't
Hey,
look
but
at
hey,
stuff as well. He's just trying to give me an ass whooping. I'm looking at this guy may be trying to kill me.
Yeah. Yeah.
You
But
know,
if you
if it's
did,
I think
but if you beat them, if you fight them in a fist fight and you kill them, wouldn't that kind of turn into manslaughter though versus murder? Because
well,
now
I
we talking about two different. You know what I mean?
that's when my attorney comes into play. So regardless of what you do, see, some people have a misconception that like if you have concealed carry insurance, that that just applies to a handgun. You know,
Right.
that can apply to if you have to use a knife, if you have to use whatever's available to you. So self defense
yeah.
don't just mean I had to pull my gun out and shoot them, and then your attorney steps in. It could be a knife, gun, hand, as long as it's something that's justified. It can be classified as self defense if you, and that's even if you have concealed carry insurance. So just because you have concealed carry insurance doesn't mean it's just limited to your gun.
I didn't know that. That's
Right.
something new. That's something new. Hey, but Ghetto, I gotta ask you this, bro.
Yeah.
17 years old. Your
Right.
big brothers was the ones who decided to go on the other side of the
Yeah.
tracks, man, and go to this party. So essentially, y'all already knew when y'all left this house, y'all left
I
y'all
knew
crib to
they
this
was
motherfucking
drunk.
tour.
Right.
Man, bro, would you would have handled that different? Like,
Hell
say,
yeah, because my brothers are
say
pieces
like,
of shit now as adults. I wouldn't even save their ass, to be honest. But God put me in a
nah, but what I'm
situation for a
saying, I'd be
reason.
damn
But
near trying to fight them to stay in the house.
well, so what had
Man,
happened
bro,
to me
like
at
that
the end
shit.
of it, I would have tried to do something different because I lost my eye and I got my whole face shattered and my front teeth
Damn,
got shattered.
from that
I got
incident.
stabbed. Yeah, I got stabbed down my arm and down my side, and my cousin or my brother got stabbed across his chest and in his back. But more importantly, and this is kind of the where I was getting to was the snitching on myself and not snitching on myself. And the other thing which I want to touch on real quick is the psychological effects of actually taking somebody's life and or trying to take somebody's life. That shit will stay with you the rest of your life. My wife can attest to that. The medicines in my cabinet can attest to that. That there's something that stays with you as a human being. You will live with even if you're defending your life that shit will stay with you depending on the situation. Because like Gershon said, I had 13 different people's bloods on my body, my whole entire body. I looked like it was like a horror movie, and it was all. I do not glorify it at all. I'm a family man. I got my babies and my wife. I'm good in life, but I'm not glorifying it at all. I did what I had to do for myself and my family. I'm not glorifying it, but anyways, what got to the
That shit
situation of
crazy,
snitching
bro.
and not snitching is they ended up getting me in juvie, right? I'll fast forward to that part, and this was the head of the gang task force, um, the DA's assistant or whatever. Anyways, they were showing me pictures of the whole entire scene. They got me up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, throwing me all these pictures of the scene, telling me what I did, asking me, and I'm like, you know what I did? I stabbed every single one of them. You know why I did that? Look at my brothers. Look at my face. There was 25 people against 3. What would you have done? And I looked at the gang task force leader. I told him, I was like, look, what you would have done, you would have pulled that 45 right out of your belt and you would have started shooting. I couldn't do that. I had to go to the kitchen and get me a knife to defend myself and my brothers. And I looked him straight in the eye. Now I didn't tell him, and this is where I snitched on myself by saying, yeah, I did it. Because that's when they were telling me, you're looking to 108 or 100 something plus years, between 5 to 15 years per person that you stabbed, right? So they're telling me all these numbers, all this extra shit. And so I'm like, I'm thinking on my feet, sort of, but I already had it in my head what I was going to, have to do. Now, if I would have told them, yeah, I had a knife in every pocket. I had it, for whatever reason, this is by God's grace alone, because we had some cool ass straps back in the day. Now this is in the 90s. So man, we had some nice straps. I could have easily brought them. And as a grown man, if I would have even pulled one gun out, I would have been screwed, because again, I'm on the other side of the tracks. I already got a rap sheet. Okay, it's
Now
not.
let me interject it. Let me ask you a question, because I gotta ask you. Now, from your standpoint of where you at today in your past life, how you grew up. Obviously, you went through a lot of shit. Um, as far as America's concerned, do you feel like uh, do you feel like it should be, and this is to everybody, do y'all feel like this shit should be like the Wild Wild West? And the
Yep.
reason why I ask is because, okay, you got so many people buying guns right now. People have always bought guns. Like, that's shit. AR is America's favorite gun. You know what I mean? And you got so many people getting into the sport of carrying a gun, shooting guns, toting guns. But then you have the police aspect, the ATF, and all this shit. Do y'all feel like, as citizens of America, it should be every man for themselves, and you should be able to deal with your shit the way you want to deal with it, and you should be able to have a duel with a person if you chose to? Because the reason why I asked the question earlier is, would you be scared to shoot somebody? Okay, let's say, like Will said, he'd rather whoop somebody's ass any day. You know what I'm saying? Then you got some people say they'd rather grab a gun. If you had a confrontation with a person and it was between you and them, do you feel like you should be able to settle that shit without the police, or do you feel like the police is necessary? And that's to
I don't.
everybody.
I don't
Well,
find
look,
no necessity with the police unless they helping some senior citizens or some kids.
look, I'm not, and I'll put it this way. I grew up in as a teen in the late '80s and the early '90s. Those were times to where we weren't too concerned about guns. We were, if we got into some shit, it was this. You get your ass whooped, and then you go on about your business. It's completely different today. These young guys ain't looking to take no ass whooping. They're too proud. They'll soon as kill you if you just breeze by their Timberlands or their Air Force Ones. So
Yeah.
so I'm living in how I have to prepare myself for today, and how shit
Wow.
is today. And today, unfortunately, for the law abiding and for people that's looking out for their families, you have to, protect yourself the best way you can, and if you have to do it, if you're doing it legally, fine, and if not, fine too. But I'm not looking to pass out no ass whoopings, because nobody's willing to take them and move on.
Now that's a
Hey,
good
hey,
shit.
Shot, let
That
me
was
answer.
good.
Let me
Now
answer. Hey,
let me say
Shot,
this. Huh? Go ahead.
let me answer. Let me answer your question. It's almost is the Wild Wild West, man. Like, that's the way we living now, man. It ain't. It's like look at all these examples of these gentlemen, man, and these different life experiences, man. And then, not to mention, it's gonna take about 20 minutes for a police officer to intervene, whether if you want them to or not. Man, we living in these times. We living in these times.
But let me ask you this though, because Juice, you in Chicago. But do you feel, what I'm saying is, do you feel like that shit should be the right between you and that person, and fuck it, you just bury him? Like if a person is trying to hurt you, do you feel like it should? Because okay, when you go to a gated community, they have their own police, so to speak. You know what I mean? And if you don't need to be over there, you don't need to be over there type shit. I find that the police really be in areas of well, they really just cut the fuck up and do what they want to do in impoverished
I see where you're
neighborhoods,
getting at
so to
with it.
speak.
So
So
in
if
those,
you like in the hood or the ghetto and they come through and they do this,
yeah,
do that. But I'm saying if you have, but you have shit going on in these areas. You have stuff going on to where you have to defend yourself.
yeah.
Do you feel like you should be able to accept, like if you don't want to whoop his ass, and he be like, well, I ain't gotta fight. I'll shoot you if you willing to take on that if you willing to take on that duel, do you feel like if you get killed, the police should get involved, or if you kill them, the police should be involved? Or do you feel like it's
I see
necessary?
what
Because
you're
what if
saying.
somebody be like, Juice, I want to shoot you, and you be like, all right, motherfucker, well, meet me in the middle of the street at 12 o'clock, and we gonna face off, and if you kill me, you kill me. If I kill you, I kill. Like, do you
Right.
feel like it's a
What?
need for the police? Is what I'm saying in that
It is.
regard.
You
But you
What?
said something
now
about a
now
gated
let me.
community. Usually, I'm just gonna say this. Usually, those like-minded people that stay in that gated community, they got an HOA. Outside of that, like the neighborhoods where we grew up in, and these same streets that we walk up and down and work on every single day, bro, it's lawless.
Yeah,
With the
dude.
police around, it's lawless, man. Let's
Yeah,
be honest.
yeah.
What you think,
These
Sean? You think
youngsters,
it's lawless,
Yeah.
bro?
these
Yeah.
youngsters will
Oh,
shoot
okay.
you in front of the police today, man.
Well, let me ask you this, because I'm asking all y'all this because I'm asking this question with y'all keeping in mind the fact that a police is still a person when they off duty. We don't know how a police will handle their situation with their own shit. You know what I mean? We just know that they work for law enforcement. Like I say, when it's you, if you living in the neighborhood and there's some stuff going on, some unsavory shit going on, and you got to defend yourself, you know what I'm saying? Like what Big Easy just said, bam, right there. That's what I'm trying to get at. You know what I mean? Let me click on it. Right here.
Hey, shout out to
You
Bobby
do
Jackson.
have
What's
some
up, Kurt,
states
bro?
that have mutual combat. Do y'all feel like mutual combat is okay in the United States?
It depends on the
If there are
situation,
no
though, doesn't
weapons,
it?
if there are no weapons
Like,
involved, then yeah.
like to answer your question, Gershon, right? You were saying should the law enforcement get involved if you both mutually say, all right, we're gonna smoke each other, right? We're gonna try to kill each other, right?
Right.
I mean, for what reason though? Like if I just walked up and I looked
Right.
at you wrong, or you looked at me wrong, okay, now we got to duel it out. Yeah, the police should be involved. Now, if you done stole my kid, or you did some foul ass shit, and I'm over here wanting to kill you, and then we end up dueling it out, no, the cops shouldn't be involved. You know,
But
it,
think
it
about
kind
it
of
though,
depends
ghetto.
on the situation.
That still go full circle back to the topic. How much snitching is too much snitching? Because now in that situation, the average person shouldn't or probably wouldn't have no goddamn remorse and would have very little to say to the police. Motherfucker, my child got abducted. I did what
Right.
I had to do. But once again, they go back to what I said earlier. How many people as American citizens with no military training or no law enforcement background gonna go into some shit like that incognito, stealth mode, and do what they
Right.
gotta do? Like
Right.
goddamn, I know where you are. I know what you wearing. I'm going to find you and I'm going to kill you like your boy
But,
Liam Neeson type shit.
right.
On
Yeah.
taking, you
Hey,
know what I'm
hey, but
saying?
Kurt,
This shit a movie. They say cut after that movie over with. Ain't too many people calling the bad guy phone saying I saw you and I'm going to come get my daughter back and hang up on their ass and throw the phone out the window and then go buy it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Type
Right.
shit.
Right.
So
certain
you know, I don't know. I'm just maybe I'm crazy for asking that question, but this is the
I'm
shit
just gonna
that
say
I
this,
sit up and
man.
think about.
Certain situations require a level of ugliness. So in other words, like we just don't put the rapists on blast and the people who do that type of stuff to children. A lot of times, I like to think that those numbers would be low. It wouldn't happen, man, if we can just take these people outside and hang them, bro. Like to be honest, like I don't know, man. These laws mixed up, man. It like I don't know, man. Like I don't know. I don't know. This shit weird, y'all. Like you got to have insurance to protect yourself. You got to prove to somebody that you had to protect yourself. You got to go through all this shit, spend all this money, and but these people want us. They protecting the victims too, is what I'm saying. Like the
Right,
people who
right.
do the ugly shit, rape and abduct and murder. Like and like, come on, man. Like
Hey,
this ain't a normal society to me, man. I
they
seen
pay you
somebody
to
mention the
not
Middle
shoot,
East.
folks.
Hey, but
Sorry,
the Middle East, a lot of people don't like the way that them folks live over there, man. But a whole lot of shit that we go through here, they don't
They
go
don't
through there.
tolerate.
So that's a
They take
good
them right out.
another question. Do y'all feel like? Because I've never been to the Middle East, so shit, I don't know. I just know what they show us
We
on
see the
TV.
images.
Anybody who ever
Yeah,
been
we
to the
see
Middle
it.
East, do y'all feel like those people are on some bullshit over there, or they're living the way that they supposed to live? Because of course, if you're in America and you have a westernized thought process as far as how they deal with shit, or you probably gonna look at them like, man, they the fucking scum of the earth. Are they
Well,
really?
yeah.
That's a question I'm asking. Are they really?
You have to look. You have to look at too.
You gotta.
You know, because this is like no, this is a rabbit hole, bro. It also too comes down to a lot of the way things are. The reason why they are today is because we don't have stiff enough penalties for some of these crimes that people do. Some stuff that people do, there should be no probation, there should be no bond. It's certain things that people do that you shouldn't have a chance to be out in society again. Like here in Chicago, the stuff that they allow these people to get away with and let them off on bail. You have somebody
Yeah.
that has 5 felonies and a DV and an assault with a deadly weapon and robbery,
Three
or
attempted
all these
murder.
kind of things, attempted
yup.
murder, and they got them on house arrest.
And then they just
Now,
Three
passed that
full
law.
attempted murders, man.
Yeah,
They just passed that law up there saying that they getting ready to get rid of the bonds, ain't they?
yeah,
yeah.
Are
That's
you talking
because
about the
that.
Safety Act?
well, well,
It's called the
well,
Safety Act.
here. Let's now let's kind of go into that a little, no, just a little bit. Where this law helps people, this new Safety Act law is going to help the people who are in prison or who are in jail waiting to go to court or to trial or whatever, where even if they're convicted, they're not going to serve any jail time. So this is kind of like there to for them as well. Like, say for instance, Juice, he was in, he got arrested, for a petty crime, or whatever, say whatever it is, and he's waiting in Cook County for 6 months, to go to trial. And even if he's convicted, he's not going to serve any jail time. This is pretty much what that Safety Act is kind of like doing. Is like, okay, he's not a threat to society, so why is he sitting in jail? And even if he gets convicted, he's not going to serve jail time. So it's pretty much set up
Mm.
in a sense for people like somebody like that who can't afford bail,
Okay.
and even if they were convicted, they won't go to jail anyway.
Right on, right on.
Man.
You kind of follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, I
So
got you. I
so
Yeah.
got you.
so it's a whole lot to that act that's going to benefit people who wouldn't serve time in jail even if they were convicted.
Okay, okay, I got you.
I
Yeah.
say,
So
man,
so
take them
we
straight
all
out.
we all
And
know,
do what
man.
you gotta do.
Yeah, we all know the media, and social media, they're going to put it out there and make it seem as grimy as possible, and they're trying to scare the law abiding, and everything, and and to complying with all these different things. But there's some benefit to that deal as well as some negatives to that deal. The
Mm.
people that are currently, like I said, in jail now, waiting to go to trial, they've been sitting there for a year, and even if, like I said, they're convicted, they're not going to get jail time. So what's the purpose of having them sit in jail?
Right.
So that's where that
Some dude sitting in the
that
county 2, 3 years. I see what you're saying,
right.
Sean.
So that's kind of where that plays in too.
Yeah, because I
Now,
It's
was listening. I was listening to a little something about it today on the radio.
man, yeah, I don't know, man. This I
Best thing to
think if
do.
normal people ran this society, If normal people ran this society, it'd be a whole lot a better place, man. You gotta always look at people's motives and what they got to get out of it to do the right thing, quote unquote, man. Because ain't no way in hell if this dude then killed 20 folks, he get to spend 30 years in jail before they even talk about putting the needle in his arm. And then 9 times out of 10, they ain't gonna put the needle in his arm. Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's the fucking
Hey,
point of
I
that? Look at all the
wanna
women.
ask y'all a quick question, real quick. Regarding what Prepper 101 said. How much do y'all think that movies, video games, and music, etc., play a part in the violence today in America? And y'all being avid gun lovers y'all self, um, how would you feel if it was a world with no guns at all after you've had the pleasure of shooting them and owning them and liking them? Like if we just didn't need them anymore, would you still want to own them, or how would you feel about if you could live that type of life? Would you be willing to give your guns up?
Nope.
That's a
Okay.
twofold
Well,
question.
Okay. Well,
the thing is,
the reality.
I'll go ahead,
Yeah, go ahead,
Sean.
G.
You can go ahead and answer
No.
that.
The reality of it is we'd never be able to live in that kind of world because it's always going to be good and evil. So we're always going to have to protect ourselves.
Mhm.
So let's just delete that from our memory or from our thoughts. We're always going to have somebody that's going to be bad and somebody that be good. Now, as far as like the video games and stuff, we have to look. We have to look at this. Is that as parents, we are our kids' first teachers
Yes, sir.
regardless. It's too many parents that are letting social media, TikTok, Instagram raise their kids, all these video games. If you pay attention to it, our culture is pretty much the only culture that succumbs to that type of influence. You have every other culture out here that has access to all these video games, music, just like we do, but you don't see them acting that way. So it has to be something that we're doing as parents or mentors, not reaching our kids. That's causing those things. It's what we value. It's what we value. If I have no value, guess what? Somebody can easily influence me to give me a value and
Right.
say, well,
Yeah.
this is what being a man is. This is what what having money is. If I don't have any value, it's easy for somebody to take me down the path, to where now I'm looking at things that are really meaningless as valuable. At the end of the day, dude, anything we have on our bodies, from clothes to hats or whatever, this is not something that you can trade in and get value back on it. Everything has a name on it that we're making everybody else rich off of. We tend to want to look like we have money and actually don't, instead of having money. I would rather
Yeah.
wear Walmart gym shoes, and a Walmart hoodie, but be sitting on some acres and some land and nobody knows about it. Instead of somebody thinking, well, he got the new Balenciagas on, or he got the new Gucci this, that's what I aspire to be. At the end of the day, none of that stuff has any tangible value that's going to help us in our future. So we have to change how we look at stuff, man. We just have to.
Right. And I think the media,
Man, they,
the
uh,
politicians, the social media, I think they're worse than video games. I think they're worse than the music. I think they're worse than all of them because those are entities that were designed to keep us fighting each other. Why do we need guns? Okay, let's go back to the 2A, right? We got our 2A right to fight against the government if they're coming after us. What did the government do? They flipped it around so we would use our guns against each other. Not one time in history have we actually went up against the system, at least in our modern day history, which I can go on a tangent on that, but I'm not gonna. But my point is everything that we're getting, even down to the video games, is designed to keep us in some kind of violent matter against each other and not against the actual entities that are keeping us down to begin with, whether it be the cops or
yeah.
whatever. I mean, My kids aren't allowed to have social media. My daughter's 16 years old and my son is 11 years old. They're not allowed social media. They're not allowed all the extra gadgets and all that other stuff. And then when I started introducing them to him, my daughter, 16 years old, she's like, "Yeah, Dad, I don't even like this." And it's not because of what I said, because I broke it down to her. I'm like, now look at these comments. You're only allowed to see, like when you look on Facebook, for instance, you're looking at comments, right? They will change your mood because they're showing you the angry comments, the hatred comments, or the super real good feel good comments, not just the normal everyday comments. That is by design.
Right.
So you know what I mean? So that's part of the media. So when it comes to, and you're right, Kaveh, we give our kids, that's why it's important we put that value on our children from day one. As soon as they come out the snatch, we put our value and our, and you know, and everything we got into them, so they grow up not thinking or not trying to get any kind of validation from other people.
Now I'm
That's
gonna say
why
this
it's
real
so.
quick, Ghetto. I'm gonna say this real quick. Can anybody on this panel or in the chat justify to me why an infant needs to have on $100 Jordans?
Hell no. Nope.
But I see it all
Well,
the
no.
time.
It's because we're a disposable society.
I see it all the time. You know, we want to look like we
But
have
you know,
a
people,
lot, but yet we're struggling once we get inside the doors. Your brakes are grinding on your car, but yet you go out and spend $500 on Christmas presents.
Isn't that what
you
our
out there on
government taught us,
kids.
though?
Huh?
Hey,
But
yeah,
I
but I
think
was
the
gonna
better,
say this.
I think the better question is, where did that shit come from? Because
Government.
if you go from, okay, now were you asking that question in a general statement for everybody, or just
That's kind
particularly
of like
for
a rhetorical
our
question.
people?
That's
But
just a rhetorical question. It's like, why is it that?
no, I get it, but I'm
Yeah,
saying like we gotta examine like where that shit come from, because that's something that's been ingrained in us for so long. Because I remember in the '90s, man, when shit, that was the thing to do. You know what I mean? Like the late '80s, early '90s, especially when people was wearing like cross color and Jabot and Tommy Hilfiger came into
Damn it.
play and Jordans and
That
shit.
was one of
So
the
that's
Carlton
something that's
Nationals.
ingrained in us versus years before that. You might have had shit, an older generation that might have had one good pair of dress shoes, physically worked on their cars. Now everything is just so much instant gratification. You know what I
Right.
mean? And it's just bred. Like for instance, like I did a video about my birthday over the weekend where I went on a hunting trip. You know what I mean? And it was called "All I Want for Christmas Is a Book," which shit, my whole thing about my birthday, I just wanted to go hunting. I wanted to be in the woods. I didn't even want to fucking be bothered because I don't celebrate Christmas and I don't celebrate my birthday. And that's just what I wanted to do. And I wanted, and I, you know, because I see people spending so much money on Christmas, or you'll save up your money all year or spend money that you don't have just to bring joy to your child. But from the time, like, you know, as Ghetto says, shit, from the time your child come out the snatch to they up in age, they wouldn't have never knew about Christmas if you hadn't introduced that shit to them. You know what I mean? So they only, so
Yeah.
it's kind of like you made that bed. You taught your kids the value of having top dollar ass Jordans on, and
Right.
you know, not having thick skin. You know, back then you used to play the dozens and motherfuckers talk about you, and you be your skin thick as a motherfucker. You learn how to jank people, but now
Yeah.
you damn near as a parent feel
Ah,
out of place if you send your child to school and they don't have on the best shoes. Well, I don't want my child to
yeah.
get roasted or talked about, and
Right.
then they
Hey,
got on all these fresh clothes, but they dumb as
look,
a goddamn box of rocks.
I'll tell you
Nothing
this.
upstairs.
Look,
Man, it's
I'll tell you this.
propaganda.
Adversity builds character, so let his ass get roasted. Shit.
Would y'all know us
Now,
spending our money let me say this, man.
sorry, dude.
Historically, people of color is the ones who dwell within the middle class, and we the ones that really feel the economy, man. We the ones who spend trillions of dollars
Yes.
here. Where in reality, the richer you are, the more tighter motherfuckers be, bro. Like, you know, It's all propaganda, man. This shit
That's
was
how
a
you stay
marketing
rich.
scheme. It was a marketing scheme. Hell, the whole so-called holiday people observed was this. They was like, man, let's gonna throw some presents in the mix, but we can get this old ass shit off the shelf and get the new shit on here. And we'll say it's 50% off, and we really ain't paid nothing but $1 for this shit, and we'll sell it to you for 20. Like
Yeah,
it's a
and see,
marketing scheme, man. Like
now, see, don't get me wrong. If you got that bag and that's what you choose to do with your money, that's fine. If you choose to buy your child, $500 this or $50 shoes or whatever, that's fine. I'm talking about the ones who put
Average
themselves in
Americans.
a worse position
Right.
just to display themselves as something that they actually truly don't have.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. These are the ones that we need to change the way they think about stuff. You know, um, you know, you're in Section 8, but yet your child got on Jordans. You got on this. You got on that. I mean, come on, man. Really.
Right.
We have to get out of
yeah,
that mentality of just I'm cool with just getting by.
We need
But
to
let's
realize
take
we're
it.
not choosing it neither.
Let's take
Well,
it. Let's take it from the clothes perspective, because this is another thing I've been thinking about too as a content creator. I love guns. I ain't gonna lie. Like, I love guns. I have a huge passion for guns, and I do my firearm instructor shit on the side or whatever. And I've been thinking lately, man, and maybe I'm wrong for thinking like this, but I think I told Juice this, but I know me and Will was talking about it. Uh, and I told somebody else, I can't think of who it was, but anyway, I think this YouTube shit'll get you fucked up sometime too, bro.
Thank you.
Like with
yeah.
this gun shit, because okay, like I say, once again, this ain't to nobody in general, because I do the shit. I got a whole goddamn collection video. So I done it. Several other YouTubers do it, to where they talk about all these different fucking guns every week. This is the new SIG MCX Rattler. This is the new Mossberg, blah blah blah. And this ain't even a color thing, because all YouTubers that's into guns showcase the new guns.
Yeah.
And you will have a person going out here buying all this shit. Like, just think about yourself as a consumer. How many guns you probably bought that you didn't even need that shit. It was a waste of money, instead of having one good sidearm that you good with, one good rifle, one good shotgun, and a bunch of ammunition, which is what you really fucking need. You know what I mean? Versus going out, spending a bunch of money you may not even have, and having a whole bunch of shit like safe queens that you just open up your safe, look in there, damn, that's a nice firearm. You close the safe and you never train with it. You never fucking use it or do nothing with the motherfucker, but you got 20, 30, 40, $50,000 sitting in your house in guns, that if you went to go sell one of the motherfuckers, no pawn shop, no gun store is gonna give you the amount back on that gun. You may be lucky if you fucking get half. You know what I mean? So just in the terms of being financially literate, financially literate with what you're doing when it comes to spending your money, with whether it be guns, clothes, whatever, because any fucking habit can be addictive. You know what I'm saying? So versus the actual practical application of the gun that you're using. You know what I mean? Because there's no way you gonna tell me that every fucking gun in your safe or in your house, you gonna pick that motherfucker up and be efficient with it.
Right.
There's no way. There's no way, especially if you don't understand the ballistics of that firearm. Y'all tracking what I'm saying? Am I making sense with what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like, if you don't understand the ballistics, the velocity, the reason why, like if you ask the average person, okay, so tell me about this gun. Yeah, I got a 300 Blackout. It's goddamn it, a 12-inch barrel on it, and blah blah blah. I got all the specs, and you be like, okay, so why did you go with that firearm? Shit, I don't know. It's a 300 Blackout. I like the motherfucker.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you got a bunch of people spending, and that's the same as the clothes. It's no different, man. It's no different when we out here just spending money and just going haywire with shit. It's still got to be some type of thought process into what are you doing and why. What is the reason why you're doing what you're doing? You know what I mean? If that make any sense.
Can I touch on the reason though, real quick?
Go.
I think it is ingrained into our brains by by America itself, our government. If you look at our government as a whole, right? We are broke as fuck. We should be a third world country right now. We owe everybody money, but yet we keep buying shit and we keep sending money out. That is why we do what we do, is because we are in that everything is disposable. Everything, we just get what we want and not worry about the good stuff. That's why our infrastructure is messed up. That's why our education system's messed up. Our prison system's messed up. Everything is messed up within our country, but yet we're walking around with gold chains and Jordans on as a country when we broke as fuck.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
That's
then,
where it
and,
starts.
and what Mojo World said, okay, every gun has a specific purpose. I agree. Shit, I got several. All of them got a specific purpose. You know what I mean? But like, take for instance, Cobber hat, staccato. I happen to own one. Just bought it. You know what I mean? But if you ask the average person, you know what I mean, a staccato. Some people know what it is. Some people don't. I was having a conversation with RGG one day before I bought mine, and I was just basically like, bro, what's the deal with the motherfuckers? Because I've never owned a 1911, but I always wanted to own one. I kind of don't. I'm starting to like them, but at first I was kind of iffy on them because I'm left-handed for one. For two, you got to drop the mag and rack it back if you don't plan on using that round that's in it, and you're gonna have to be cocked and locked, you know what I'm saying, to be safe with the motherfucker. So, okay, most people, you go out and say, okay, what's the difference between the staccato and the Rock Island Armor? Somebody will say, well, the staccato is the best gun in the world. It's the be-all, end-all of 2011s. How true is that? Because like Villain just said, if you got a person sitting up here advocating for a goddamn gun that they ain't even ran 500 rounds through, how can you say that that gun is tried and true and that you know for sure that this is a battle tested, battle proven gun? Because shit, if you got a bunch of guns with no bullets in the motherfuckers, that's an expensive ass paperweight, basically. You know what I mean? Because if outside of hunting and competition sports, you buy guns for self-defense. And as most people say, shit, I'm waiting on the apocalypse. Well, if the apocalypse come, you know what I mean? If the apocalypse come, what the fuck you gonna do with them good Jordans on? Because them bitches finna get towed up. You know what I'm saying? Do you got a good pair of hiking boots? Do you got all the resources you need to be able to protect yourself? Are you in shape? You know what I'm saying? Because that's something that I'm finna start introducing to my channel, because I belong to an MMA gym, and I'm finna start documenting my journey of weight loss and just MMA training, because it may come a time where all hell may break loose, and it could be a civil war. If you get into a situation to where you gotta go hand-to-hand combat with a motherfucker and the pistol ain't no good, or you out of ammunition at that point, can you go toe-to-toe with a motherfucker? If you get shot, or if your loved one gets shot, are you in a physical condition to pick that person up and drag them out of a kill zone or out of the line of fire? This is the shit that people ain't really, I don't think people really take into consideration. Everybody want to be doing the shooting, but ain't nobody anticipating getting their ass shot. You know what I mean? So that, like, I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. Let me just stop.
Also, why you getting fancy guns that your neighbors don't got? Because if your ass run out of ammo, where you gonna use that gun for? You want to have the same guns as your neighbors.
Exotic calibers is what you saying? Like
right.
That's
exactly.
what you can get on. Like, yeah.
Exactly. You're spending all that money and you're gonna end up running out. I'd rather have a Glock 19 because I know the majority of my neighborhood's got a Glock in their safe, and I know they got ammunition. So apocalypse-wise is what I'm talking about. It's like, I don't want none of that fancy shit.
Yeah.
I want to know what kind of ammunition my neighbors got, so if I run out, I run out. You know, I won't run out. He could throw me a mag and I'll be good.
Listening to New Year's Eve. You got that New Year's Eve, like, oh yeah, that's a 9mm, Mr. Jones. Like, yeah.
Some of that stuff comes down to Is it's also too what we place a value on.
Right.
You'll have somebody like myself. I may spend 3 grand on a gun, and I'm not gonna knock somebody if they spent $3,000 to go see the Super Bowl. That's just what you chose to spend your money on. So
Right.
what you choose to spend your money on is on you. And I'm not going to try to influence anybody's decision on what I feel they should have based on what I like.
Well, I tell
You
you
know,
this, that goddamn Super Bowl ticket ain't gonna be no good if the apocalypse come.
yeah, right. But see, you'll have some people go, well, why would you spend 3 grand on a gun? And I can have the same argument. Well, why would you go spend $5,000 on some Forgiato wheels? So at the end of the day, how I spend my money is my business, and how you spend yours is yours. So I'm going to keep my mouth and my opinion out of your wallet. You keep yours out of mine.
Right.
So I'm not going to judge nobody on what they spend or what they spend their money on. Now, if somebody comes and asks me for a loan, you know, and I see they got on Jordans, but their car is a 1996 Ford Taurus, I'm be like, get the hell out of my face. You
I think
now,
a
all right, now,
Makes
1939
Kaba.
sense.
Ford
Shit
Tempest.
makes sense.
Now, Kaba, you wouldn't talk shit to me if I spent $5 on a midget hooker instead of $10 on a full size woman.
that's hey, look, if that's your thing, that's your thing.
Everybody
Look,
know
look,
midgets
dude.
have more fun.
The one thing I've learned to do, the one thing I've truly learned to do is respect other people and what they choose to do with their stuff. As long as it's not stepping on me. If it's not stepping on me, do what you do. But if you ask my opinion and if you ask me for help, then I'm going to dig into why you need that help.
Now I
You
like what
know,
Dre just
Right.
said. He said
Right.
once you have the basic, you can spend your money on anything. What do y'all think the basic firearms are that you just would say everybody should own? Not brand specific, just you
and
should.
now 2A may be talking about he may be talking about firearms, or he may be saying the basics that go food, house,
Yeah, the
you
cheap
know,
things in life,
yeah.
water,
So
house.
that
Yeah,
so that's look what some people see as budget, some people see as expensive. Because at the end of the day, like I think that was Big Easy that said something about staccato being the low end. Staccato is the entry level race gun. Once you get into your Infinities, your Carney Customs,
atlases and shit.
the Atlases and stuff like that, staccato will be considered a budget gun. But budget to
So
who?
look, I'm all the way
Yeah,
out the
beyond my
game,
budget.
y'all know that I get my guns from the pawn shop, man. I be like, I don't know, man. Y'all, I'm cheap than I'm fuck when it comes
So
to
let me ask y'all this: do y'all try to shoot the gun before you
that.
actually purchase it? Like before you ever owned the staccato, had you shot one first?
Yep.
I ain't gonna lie,
No,
I ain't
Sean did.
shoot.
Sean got
I
the
hadn't
gun.
shot shit. I just bought them up.
Yeah.
You did, Gershon? You was like,
Look. I don't buy anything based off of what somebody says. I just don't. I look. I have to put it in my hands and feel it and shoot it first. So I'm not going to buy anything unless I'm able to shoot it first. Because we've bought guns that we've said, man, this is a pretty ass gun, and we shot it. We like, man, I don't like this shit. And then you got a paperweight.
Same thing I told that midget. Nigga, try it out before I gave it $5. 101 is on point, right? Sorry, y'all. 101 is on point, though. I think, 9mm, AR, 22. You good to go. And a shotty, though. You got to have a shotty in
Yeah.
there. You got to
Now,
have them
do
all three in
y'all
there.
think that an AK-47 has to be in your arsenal? Is that really a
Personal
necessity?
choice, personal preference.
Yeah, personal
It's
man,
preference.
look,
that AK, bro.
it's no different from me trying to tell you guys, well, you should drive a Toyota instead of a Chevy. It's pretty much what you like. Who can really truly tell you what type of guns you need to own.
Shit, according to various channels, that's a debate being held all day. This is the best. AK is, I swear by AK. I swear by this. I swear by it.
They run it through the mud, body slam it, pick it up, shoot it.
Yeah, but most of us
Like,
are not going
man,
to encounter that kind of stuff. Most of
Right.
us are not going to encounter, to where we're slamming our gun on rocks and swimming, in the damn ocean, or we got to run 100,000 rounds to it, or we're driving a tank over it. Most of it, we ain't going to experience that shit. So truly at the end of the day, we just need something that when you press the trigger, it shoots.
Well, I
Everything else
say
after that is
this.
a luxury.
All you gun buying mofos out there, shit. And people who don't own a gun gonna love the fuck out of y'all at the end days. Cause guess what? If you got a bug out, you ain't taking all that shit with you. So when they stumble across your little fortress and your little house, they gonna thank the shit out you for leaving all them
man.
guns behind.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of guns anymore. I, I,
Yeah.
I truly don't have a lot of guns anymore. I used to have maybe close to 30 guns. I have 11 now.
God damn, you had that many, close to 30?
Yep.
So when you started getting rid of them, were you trying
A lot
to
of times
get
you
all of
don't.
your money back, or you was cool with getting some money back, or how did you eliminate the shit you didn't really want no more?
You
12,
know what?
12, what up, man?
what up, bro?
Whatever I can
What up,
get for it,
12?
whatever I can get for it at that time, is just what I got for it. I truly got to a point to where it was certain things that I truly wanted. Now, some stuff was impulse buys, and I got beyond impulse buying. The new thing out, I gotta have it. New thing out, I gotta have it. New thing out, I gotta have it. If it's something that's been in my safe and I haven't shot it,
Good night,
or if
she
I,
said.
or if I'm going through my safe and I flip past that to grab another gun, then that needs to go. So that's why everything in my safe now, it'd hurt my feelings if I sold it.
You know what? Did you say that? Cause I got shit that I know I don't really like or I need to get rid of, and I feel like I'm a hoarder because I have a hard time parting with it. Some of this shit I be like, man, you know what? I really don't even want this shit
You
no more.
you you got that separation anxiety, huh?
Yeah, I really do, bro. Cause it's a lot of things I could say truly like, nah, I don't shoot it. I don't really care for it, but I'd be like, it may just serve a purpose. Shit, and ain't doing nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Just sitting there.
Ain't do-
Yeah,
And
dude,
you'll
it
be
just comes
mad,
down
bro.
to
I don't have a lot of
what
guns.
people want, man. It just comes down to what people want. Some people can't stand shotguns. Some people can't stand the AKs. So some people can't stand ARs. So it's just get what floats your boat.
I don't
Don't
know,
don't.
prep. I don't really think that this is my opinion. I don't really think 300 blackout is an exotic round anymore. It probably used to be, but now it's becoming more widely accepted. Shit, I think it's just as popular as the 5.56 in some cases. You know what I mean? And I think in a lot of cases it's better in a short barrel form because of how quick it burned the powder. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and it's better being shot suppressed in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, it's high as hell. It compared to a 5.56 round, cost wise, but I don't know. It ain't as high as
But
some
which
of
one
this
you
other
think you
shit out here.
find? Let's keep it a buck, Gershon. Which you think you gonna find more? Say in a situation where you just trying to find it, like you gonna find that 5.56 or that 300. Like
I
you
think
probably
I
gonna
think
find
you'll
that
find a lot. I really honestly think you can find a lot of 300 blackout because, like I said, a lot of people carry them now. But I do think 5.56 is more available because even when the pandemic happened, they was putting that in 9mm back on the shelf before a lot of shit in my area.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
saw a lot of 5.56 hit the shelf. 22 for damn show. Uh,
And believe it or not, that 7.62 by 39.
yeah.
That's a
AK
real
round for
common.
sure. I was gonna say that next. Yeah, and
Man,
but
that's a real common round,
until
man.
they fucked the game up and started getting rid of a lot of that steel when they was trying to ban steel casings because of the little Russia shit and all that. You know what I mean?
Now y'all know what we're gonna have to do
I really ain't heard
is
that.
we're gonna have to make sure Will gets his rights back so he can be having this conversation with us about the stuff that we're shooting. So
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna have to make sure
Yeah,
you get your
man.
rights back, bro.
Yeah, man. I'm finna start on that first of the
I
year.
will go
Get
get that.
busy, man.
Yeah, good, good. Yeah,
And
but this
Will,
be some
forget what
good
they talking about.
conversation,
The
man.
first thing you should buy is an AK-47.
That's right.
That's the first thing.
There go Juice
Yeah,
campaigning
man.
for a goddamn AK. Somebody get this
I
dude
told
an
the first
AK
thing. I told the
sponsorship.
first thing I'm gonna go
I
get,
got
man.
one. I got one. Shit,
Nah,
I
I
got a
said get you.
Palmetto.
I said get you a sponsorship. Shit, somebody sponsor this
Hey, bro,
dude for
yeah.
AK. Can
Yeah,
y'all
man,
picture
I hate to
Juice
cut
on
out on you
a
boys, but I'm gonna go ahead and get ready so I can give you some Z for this AM, man.
man? Yes, sir. Matter of
Yes,
fact, oh
sir.
look at the time. It's 10:21. Shit, I ain't even realize y'all got me up here running my mouth. I ain't even realize we 2 hours and 19 minutes in. I'ma let these last little. Well, we count down. I go to 2:20 with y'all. I mean 2 hours and 20 minutes with y'all. But
We gonna go back in time.
yeah, but look, man, it's crazy Will said that because now I'm focusing on the time. But look, man, we enjoyed y'all tonight hanging out with us, man. We'll be back
Yes, sir.
next week, same time, 8 o'clock, and we'll be back with another episode of Wild Wild Wednesday for y'all, man. We hope y'all had fun. Make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all didn't on the way out the door, man. And until next time we see y'all again, man. Peace.
Peace out.
Later, y'all.
They don't appreciate you
All
jumping on
right,
with us.
man.
Be
Yeah, I
cool.
Well, we
appreciate
see you,
y'all.
big
Thank you.
dog.
Hey, good